don't think I've ever actually really reviewed a full year's worth of training, at least not properly. But as we approach the end of 2025, I'm starting to realise that I can't really set goals for 2026 unless I review the previous year. Without even looking at the logbook, if I had to summarise 2025 as a training year, I would say inconsistency, lack of intensity, and a lack of direction, a lack of planning. I actually think I've trained enough in the year to have seen good progress. If I had to guess, I would say I've averaged 3 times a week. So, you know, that's enough to have seen progress, in my opinion. And that's kind of the frustrating part for me. It's not that I haven't been in the gym. It's just what I've done when I've been here has been the issue. That is the frustrating thing about the year. It's, in reality, I've probably just spun my wheels for the past 12, 18 months when it comes to training. And at the age of 37, I don't feel like I've got that much time to just be sitting still. Oh, fuck. Whew. Ooh. This isn't going to be the perfect review. It's not going to be the most scientific review of my training year because, if I'm honest, I've not accurately tracked my body weight, body fat, my diet over the year. I've probably missed or forgot to log some sessions, but the way I'm approaching that is, if I didn't log it, it didn't happen, because at the end of the day, if it's not logged, how can it be progressed? You know, if you don't know what you did previously, how do you know what to do next time? How do you know what to do next week? So that's on me. If it's not there, it didn't count. So for some sort of context, I suppose, my body weight is around about 95 kilos. I know I have weighed myself throughout the year and I've been around down to 90, up to 98, and I'm sitting around about 94 as of this morning, but it was Christmas Day yesterday, so probably put on a little bit of weight yesterday, but so I'm around about 94 kilos. But for most of the year, I've probably averaged 95. Steps, when I check my phone, I've been averaging just over 11,000 steps a day, which is pretty good. Well, it's decent, it's okay, it's fine for me. And as of the end of 2025, I would have done and recorded in my logbook 186 workouts, which is actually down from last year. I think last year I did 198. But to be fair, on average, it doesn't really make a difference. I think 186 is about 3.5 workouts a week. 198 is about 3.8 workouts a week. So it's neither here nor there. It doesn't make a difference really, I don't think, in the grand scheme of things. But it is a bit of, you know, potentially concern. Yeah, so today when we go through this 2025 review, we're just going to look at the main lifts, mainly the squat, the deadlift, the bench, and the shoulder press, because I did track accessory movements, but to be honest, when I've looked in the log, it's a lot of just, I would say, going through the motions. I've done them, but never really pushed them. It's a lot of 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 10, 4 sets of 10, 5 sets of 10 of comfortable reps. I did push the odd set, but I think that's the thing going forward. With accessories, I think I've got them. I've got the right sort of accessories in there, but I just need to up that intensity. Maybe, 3 or 4 sets is good, but that last set really needs to be a one what would push and get close to failure. I think that's the thing I really need to push myself in the new year. Yeah, so first, pressing. We'll talk about the bench press and the shoulder press. It was actually progressing well, my bench press, once I started doing it, and shoulder press, up until it wasn't. Basically from about the start of the new year up until about September, both lifts were progressing. I think they went from, I think my top bench was 115, my top shoulder press was 72.5 kilos. and they were going really, really well until I hurt my shoulder. Don't really know what it was. I think it was just overused, not the right sort of accessories, not the right sort of volume or recovery, and just I felt it niggle, and a few times I just carried on pushing, to be honest, and that's kind of what happened with my shoulder. Yeah, it definitely wasn't a overnight injury. It was one of those injuries where you feel it, you know it's there, but you're like, I just get to the next deload, we'll be fine. Deload for a week, you all okay. Push. Oh, we'll get to the deload. And then it got to like September 29th, which was the last time I heavy benched, and that was a 115. And since then, I've only done the 15 bar and the 15 dumbbells for bench press. Never done any shoulder press. I did press the 15 bar overhead, but that's it. We'll do this set and then we'll talk about the deadlift. Fuck. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I thought I was doing 60. I thought I was doing 60 kilos, but it was 70. Put another one on, 80. So it was 70 for 10 reps. Oh, fuck. Right. Yeah, so the deadlift, if I'm honest, it didn't really move at all. It's from 2024 to now, end of 2025. It's in the log, it's a 120 is the max. To be honest, I thought I had pulled more, but like I say, it's one of those things, the logbook says I haven't, so I haven't. So 120 is where we're at. Bit frustrating again, bit annoying, but if we, every cloud has a silver lining, it means I still have a lot of potential in that pull going into 2026, and I would hope that stays in line or ahead of my squat going into the new year. And unfortunately, it's the same sort of story for the squat. I could have sworn I had squatted more this year, but my max for 2025, if I look in the log, it's 117.5 for a single. In 2024, it was 120, I think, or 122.5. So if you're looking at it like that, it has dropped, but not by a significant amount. It's, what's that, like a 1.25 or 1.2 body weight squat, so that's pretty shit for me, to be honest. I've squatted more in the past, but again, probably not consistently, but I could have swore, if you asked us, I did definitely squat more, but obviously I didn't. Like I say, if it's not the logbook, it didn't happen, so it didn't happen. Holy shit. Oh, sorry. It's probably just blowing your ears out on the mic. Take them off. Put this 10 on. Put this one back on. So this is 90 kilos, we did 80. Been going up in sets of 10. So yeah, I could sit here or stand here and try to justify my lack of progress over the last, probably, if you look at it really, 24 months. But I've got nothing to really gain by justifying it. Everybody has work issues, family issues, timing issues, injuries, children, you name it, everybody's got the same problems. So to sit here and list all these excuses, because that's what they would be, excuses. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, it doesn't matter, you didn't. There's nothing really to gain from that other than to save a little bit of face or save a little bit of ego, protect myself a little bit. Oh, God. Fucking hell, my leg. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Put 100 on too. That was heavier than what I thought it was going to be. So yeah, if we try to look at the positives, I've actually been a lot more consistent than what I thought I had been. I thought I was coming 2-3 times a week, but if we look at it on an average over the last year, we've done 3.5 times a week, a little bit more the previous year. So we know we can come in 3 or 4 times a week consistently, which is a good thing. It means I'm here. I just need to mold what I'm doing here a little bit. I didn't really have a plan, or I didn't really have goals neither last year, to be honest. So I didn't know what I wanted to achieve. So I didn't know what to plan. You know, it's a bit like going on holiday, not taking the map and wondering why you end up in a random place. You know, it makes no sense. So I don't really have any concrete 2026. I suppose I do have the goal, you know, when I started the channel, I said I want a 200 kilo squat, but I don't know when or if I can hit that. So I can't really say in 2026, I'm going to hit a 200 kilo squat. You know, nothing in my training history suggests that I'm close to doing that. So I don't really know how to set goals for 2026. That's not what this video was, I suppose, but it's something I need to think about. If anything, I would say if I was a betting man, I probably won't do it. I think that's the whole point of having this channel, really. It was to commit. I need to commit, plan, execute, and the results will follow.